All right, we are live. It is Michael McGreevy on the mound for the Cardinals today. He's been above average so far, produced 5 pitching run value in a very small sample size, so he's not a qualified pitcher yet. But just a 0.84 whip, 2.7 ERA, has a very low walk rate, which is what you need with this defense behind you. One of the top prospects for the Cardinals in the organization. And produces soft contact as well. Pretty good strikeout rate. Nothing too worrisome from McGreevy outside of the high fly ball rate, a low ground ball rate right here. But he'll be going up against the Cubs today, so that is a little bit scary. Really good lineup that they have put together. Let's take a look right now. It's going to be Happ once again with Tucker, Suzuki, Crow, Armstrong, Swanson, Bush, Horner, Shaw, and McGuire. So couple of spots in the lineup have changed. You see Bush over at first base and McGuire behind the plate, who did not start yesterday. And for the Cardinals defense, it is going to be Nootbaar in left, Scott in center, Burleson in right. It is the same lineup as yesterday with Pajes behind the plate, Gorman playing DH, and Donovan at second, Wynn at short, Contreras at first, Arenado at third. So we're about to get underway. It's going to be Ian Happ at the plate once again. McGreevy has no history against any of the Cubs hitters, as he was called up to the majors this season, and the Cardinals first played the Cubs yesterday. So here we go. First pitch is in there with the fastball low and in on Happ for strike one. So it is 0-1 on Happ, and we are underway. Here's the second pitch of the game to Happ. It is outside 1-1. McGreevy on pretty low sample so far this year has a 2.7 ERA. Looking to have another quality start here. The 1-1 from Happ, to Happ, is a strike with a curveball on the outside corner. So it's 1-2 now. Happ does have a 749 OPS with 11 homers. He's been great against the Cardinals in his career, with about 26 homers against the team. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Puts the sweeper in the dirt. It's 2-2. Happ's been the leadoff hitter for the majority of the season for the Cubs. The 2-2 pitch is fouled back, still 2-2. He is getting the start at DH today for the Cubs with Suzuki in left field, so they switch places. Tucker in right and Crow Armstrong in center. Cardinals are playing Happ to pull, have Donovan in that pull spot close to first base. The 2-2 pitch, driven in the air to center. Back goes Scott, who makes the catch right in front of the track for out number 1. So McGreevy does get an out to start the game on a fly ball to center. And that is going to bring up Kyle Tucker. So that low ground ball rate from McGreevy already showing up. A ball in the air from Happ. That's a little bit scary, given how the ball was flying yesterday. But as long as he keeps the contact soft like he has so far this year, there's nothing to worry about. Kyle Tucker has been one of the best hitters in baseball, a 912 OPS. Here's the first pitch. Low and in with the curveball, 1-0. Tucker has 15 bombs on the year, 46 RBIs in 77 games. The 1-0 pitch. Fouled the other way, 1-1. So that means Tucker's only missed about 3 games this year, assuming the Cardinals and the Cubs have played the same amount. Really consistent player. You want him in the lineup every day. Great hitter. Serviceable fielder in right field. And a big threat here with nobody on and 1 out in the first. The 1-1 pitch. Low and in with the fastball. 2-1 on Tucker. I do want to get a quick look at the pitch mix from McGreevy. Looks like he has a lot of pitches. Fastball, sinker, sweeper, cutter, slider, changeup, and curveball. As here's a base hit up the middle from Tucker. He got to that one, just served it up the middle. Didn't try to do too much, and the Cubs have their first hit of the game. It was just a fastball at the top of the zone. Tucker stuck the barrel out, poked it up the middle. And here comes Seiya Suzuki with Kyle Tucker on first and 1 out. Suzuki with an 846 OPS on a 256 average so far this year. The first pitch is in there for a strike with the sinker. It's 0-1. I believe Kyle Tucker has a few stolen bases already this year, so that's something to look out for. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Hanging sweeper fouled back by Suzuki. It's 0-2. So that was not the best pitch from McGreevy. He left that one middle, but Seiya was unable to get to it. So he's down in the count 0-2. See if McGreevy can make a good pitch here. The 0-2 pitch. Missed low and away with the sweeper. It's 1-2. Good eye by Suzuki. Seemed like he was never even thinking about swinging at that sweeper. Cardinals are obviously playing Suzuki to pull with Donovan up the middle. Wynn playing a little bit left of standard short as McGreevy throws it over to first and checks on Tucker. Seiya has grounded into 7 double plays on 78 opportunities, so a decent chance there. About a 8 or 9% chance. The 1-2 ground ball back to McGreevy. He goes to second for 1. Donovan with the turn, and it's a double play. So that goes up to 8 out of 80. And we go to the bottom of the first, still scoreless in St. Louis. Donovan, Wynn, and Burleson are due up. So another double play ball there. It's going to be Jameson Taillon. So we have plenty of time to go ahead and look at what Taillon's up to. A 1.04 whip, so pretty good whip, but a 3.84 ERA puts him at a -1 pitching run value. The strikeout rate is a little bit low. Also has a low walk rate, so the ball's getting put in play a lot, but he's getting barreled up a lot, and the balls are going into the air. So once again, it's another Cubs pitcher where you just have to fight in the count and find your pitch and crush it. Same approach as we had yesterday. Just barrel up the ball, get a good launch angle, find either a gap in the infield or a hole in the outfield and get extra bases. So that is the approach against Taillon, 6'5", 230. We will look at the Cardinals' history against Taillon. Donovan's been pretty good, 8 for 19. That is a 421 average, 450 on base. Wynn hasn't hit him super well, nor has Contreras. But Burleson's already got him twice with home runs on 6 hits, so 6 for 15 with 2 bombs. Pretty good results from Nootbaar as well with a homer. Arenado 11 for 25, that's a 440 average. And Pajes has had success against him as well with a homer. So a lot of success against Taillon over the course of the lineup. Only Contreras, Gorman, and Scott have really struggled, along with Mason Wynn. So 5 out of 9 have had success. That's a good sign. So let's get back to the game. Yep, first pitch is in there for strike 1 on Brendan Donovan. He uses 40% fastballs. The 0-1 pitch inside, pulled over to first. Easy play made by Bush for out number 1. So the Cubs defense has Suzuki in left, Crow Armstrong in center, Tucker in right, with Bush at first, Horner at second, Swanson at short, Shaw at third, and McGuire behind the plate. It's going to be Mason Wynn here with 1 out in the bottom of the first. First pitch to Wynn is driven in the air to center field, high and deep, but Crow Armstrong will be able to make the grab at the warning track in the sun for out number 2. It's a sunny day in St. Louis. Tough to track that one, but wind just barely didn't get all of it. So 2 outs and nobody on. It's going to be Alec Burleson. Burleson hitting .307 this year, the first pitch. Drops the curveball at the top of the zone. Doesn't get the call. It's 1-0. Burleson also has an .818 OPS. That is the highest in the Cardinal lineup today. The 1-0 pitch. Misses up and away with the changeup. 2-0. Burleson's been good in his career against Taillon, as we were just looking at. 2 home runs, 6 for 15. Well over a 1 OPS. The 2-0 pitch is in there on the outside corner. 2-1. That was the changeup. So he followed a changeup that missed with a changeup that hit the corner. See if he has a good pitch for Burleson here. The 2-1. Up and in, pulled, foul. Perfectly placed pitch that time by Taillon with the cutter. He was riding in on the hands. Nowhere Burleson could put that one. So it is now 2-2 with 2 outs here in the first. The pitch from Taillon. He is up and away. Did he go? No, he didn't. It's 3-2. So Burleson's going to go ahead and call time, give himself a breather. On deck is Wilson Contreras. Burleson steps back in, and here we go. The 3-2 pitch to Burleson. Right down the middle for strike 3 with the fastball, and down goes Burleson. So the Cardinals go 1-2-3 in the first. We will go to the second, still scoreless. It's another inning where you don't get the results you're looking for, but both teams only have sent 3 hitters to the plate, so it's not too big of a deal. Crow Armstrong, Swanson, and Bush are due up next inning. Obviously, Crow Armstrong's been great. I don't believe we saw Bush yesterday, so I'm going to pull up his numbers. 27 years old, .869 OPS. He's been a really nice hitter for them this year. 12 homers, 3 stolen bags. All of the contact numbers look great. The walk rate is pretty high at 11%. Strikeout rate a little bit below average, but pretty dang good performance from Bush so far this year at 27 years old. Last season, he had a good walk rate again. The expected batting average was a little lower. And I don't exactly know why. I think it has something to do with the exit velocity being lower at 89.9. This year, that's up to 91. But really impressive. Maybe the strikeout rate is higher last year. Yeah, it was 28.6. So that's what's pulling down the expected batting average. With a better strikeout rate, he's been a better player. So Bush is a scary hitter to face. Crow Armstrong's also been scary, and so has Swanson. We're looking for a lot of strikeouts in this game, so hopefully McGreevy can deliver those, as that's the one thing this lineup has struggled with. All right, the game is back. A little update on Herrera. He is getting ready to come back soon. Crow Armstrong fouls back the first pitch. It's 0-1. Crow Armstrong has 21 homers this year, .877 OPS with a .273 average. Here's the 0-1 pitch from McGreevy. Ground ball up the middle. Mason Wynn was playing it perfectly. Makes the throw to first for out number 1. So a hard ground ball up the middle there. That would have been a base hit maybe 15 years ago, but not anymore. So 1 out. That will bring up Dansby Swanson. Swanson hitting .238 so far this year. Take strike one, low and in with the sinker. It's 0-1. Does have 14 homers, a little bit of a high strikeout rate, and has accumulated 1.5 WAR so far this year. The 0-1 pitch, outside 1-1. Swanson's OPS stands out as a little bit low in front of Bush and behind Crow Armstrong. It goes 877 from Crow Armstrong, 712 from Swanson, and then 869 from Bush. But you need someone to get on base before those homers, so that might have something to do with it. As Swanson took a pitch outside, it's 2-1. The 20th pitch of the day from McGreevy. Right down the middle with the sweeper on the check swing, it's 2-2. So McGreevy has been relatively efficient so far, given that he's already given up a hit. 20 pitches through 1 1/3, and already has a 2-2 count on Swanson. Swanson digs back in. Here's the 2-2. Missed low and away with the sinker. 3-2. On deck is Michael Bush. Here's the 3-2 pitch with 1 out to Swanson. Fouled it off his foot. We'll do it again. Swanson, obviously a former Brave, a shortstop, known for his defense, gets on base, can hit the ball. Really impressive all-around player. There is 1 out in the top of the second. We are still scoreless in St. Louis. Here's the 3-2 pitch now from McGreevy to Dansby. Up and in, ground ball to short. Mason Wynn is there again, makes the throw for out number 2. So good defensive positioning this inning from the Cardinals. And that will bring up Michael Bush. Bush having a really nice year at first base for the Cubs. .271 average, .869 OPS. Virtually all of his stats are good, except for the slightly below average strikeout rate. And by that I mean above average. 12 home runs on the year, a lot of extra base hits. Here's the 1-0 from McGreevy to Bush. Fouled back, 1-1. One of the key things for McGreevy is he has such a versatile pitch arsenal. You really never know what he's going to throw. As here's the 1-1. Up and in with the cutter. It's a ground ball to first. Contreras flips it to McGreevy for out number 3. So 6 up, 6 down for the Cubs, although they did have a hit and a double play. We go to the bottom of the second for Contreras, Nootbaar, and Arenado in a scoreless game. All right, so it's Contreras. We can go ahead and give ourselves an update on the history between these guys. Contreras hasn't been fantastic against Taillon, but the next 4 after Contreras have all been pretty good. 853 OPS from Nootbaar. He has a homer. 942 from Arenado, who gets on base against him a ton. And then you have Gorman, who hasn't been great against Taillon, but 695 isn't a bad OPS. He does have a homer, and so does Pajes for the 1.4. So this inning could produce results. It all depends on Nootbaar and Contreras to try to get on base and get something going before Arenado, because Arenado is very likely to get a hit and pass the torch to Gorman and Pajes. So that is a look ahead at the inning. If you look at Contreras, I mean, he has the same problem as a lot of the Cubs hitters. Really nice contact numbers across the board, but the strikeout rate is a little bit high. The walk rate is a little bit low. And We'll see Nootbaar. He got moved down in the order after a rough start to the month, but he's picking it back up. Had a home run in the game yesterday. I also want to look at Gorman. See, Nootbaar's strikeout rate has been climbing, but he's bringing that back down. Let's see Gorman. So Gorman's still striking out a ton. Walk rate pretty high. I want to see this barrel rate continue to climb because it's finally above average. We'll see how far he can get it. He's also finally a qualified hitter, so that's good to see. 698 OPS. So he's just, he's about the same against Taillon as he is in general, but the game should be back by now. All right, it's 1-0 on Contreras. Here is the second pitch of the second. Swing and a miss on a cutter low and away. It's 1-1. So it's the bottom of the second. We are tied at 0. Wilson Contreras at the plate against Taillon. The 1-1 pitch is in there with the sweeper outside. 1-2. Contreras has 10 home runs on the year. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Taillon. Ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit from Contreras, and he has something going for the Cardinals in the second. The first hit of the game for the Redbirds. And he'll pass the torch over to Nootbaar. Just a low and outside fastball. Put the end of the bat on it and drove it up the middle just past the diving Swanson. One man on with nobody out for Lars Nootbaar. Nootbaar hitting just .229, but has a pretty good walk rate for a 713 OPS. Here's the first pitch from Taillon. In there for a strike with the cutter, 0-1. Nootbaar's had a little bit of success against Taillon. The OPS over 800 against Taillon. And there's a nice gap in the middle of the infield and in right center. The 0-1 pitch from Taillon to Nootbaar. He is right down the middle with the fastball for strike 2. It's 0-2. Nootbaar in the last 5 games has 2 homers and a 1.039 OPS. We'll see if he can stay hot in this one. The 0-2 pitch from Taillon goes down and away. It's fouled back by Nootbaar. Still 0-2. So even if Nootbaar can't get a hit, if he can just work a count, make Taillon throw some pitches, maybe move the runner over, that would be big for the team here. Here's another 0-2 pitch to Nootbaar from Taillon. Upstairs, fouled back again. Still 0-2. That one would have been a ball above the zone, but it's close enough that it makes sense Nootbaar is swinging. Protecting himself, staying alive, making Taillon work. It's been the Cardinals' main hitting philosophy this year, and it has paid dividends. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Taillon. Curveball outside, doesn't get the call. It was a little outside, 1-2. Nootbaar's been solid against the Cubs in his career. In 47 games, he has 10 bombs against the team with a .290 batting average. So those are some high-quality numbers. As Taillon checks on Contreras, that's going to be the first disengagement of the at-bat. All right, Taillon is ready. The 1-2 pitch to Nootbaar. Driven in the air to right center field. Back is Tucker, and he will watch that one fly. A huge bomb for Lars Nootbaar, and it's 2-0 Cardinals in the second. Absolute nuke. His 11th home run of the year, 412 feet, 107.6 miles per hour off of the bat. And Nootbaar goes back-to-back days with a 2-run bomb. It was just an 88-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch, low and in, and Nootbaar turned on it, sent it over the Cardinal bullpen. So with a 2-0 lead, that will bring up Nolan Arenado. First pitch, swing and a miss on a sweeper low and away, 0-1. The 0-1 is popped up, playable at second base for Horner. And he made the grab for out number 1. That's going to bring up Nolan Gorman. Nootbaar is incredibly exciting when he heats up, and he did it at the beginning of the year. Slumped for a little while. We're seeing it again right now. That's the guy we love to come to the ballpark and chant his name. You're probably hearing newts around the stadium if you're in St. Louis as Gorman takes strike 1. So here's the 0-1 pitch to Gorman. Up and away with the fastball, 1-1. Thomas Sajasi congratulating Nootbaar. Some good vibes on the Cardinal bench. Here's the 1-1. Pulled over to right field for a base hit for Gorman. So he went down and got that changeup. And Gorman is 1 for 1. The Cardinals have a runner on with 1 out now in the second. Started at the top of the zone, went to the bottom of the zone. And Gorman reached down and put the barrel on it. Can't do it any better than that. Served it out to right field. Cardinals are not trying to do too much today, and it is paying off so far. First pitch from Taillon to Pages. He is right down the middle with the fastball, 0-1. Pages has 5 homers on the year, a .625 OPS. We'll see if he can keep this rally going. The 0-1 pitch takes a sweeper low and away. It's 1-1. Pages is hitting .221 on the season. The 1-1 pitch. He is right down the middle with the cutter. Another good pitch to Pages, who took another one in the zone. So it's 1-2 with a man on and 1 out. Taillon kind of using every pitch to move the ball back to the center of the zone. So Pages has been caught off guard by each of these pitches. But hopefully he can put a swing on one pretty soon. 1 out, 1 man on. The 1-2 pitch from Taillon goes outside with the sweeper, 2-2. It is Gorman on first. The Cardinals lead 2-0 after a Nootbaar bomb here in the second. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Jameson Taillon. Fouled back, and we'll have to do it again. So a good at-bat by Pages. The Cardinals making Taillon throw a lot of pitches in this second inning. He has recorded 1 out so far in the inning. This is about to be his 30th pitch of the game. 2-2 pitch to Pages. Driven in the air to center. Easy play for PCA. He makes the catch for out number 2. So that will bring up Victor Scott II, the 9-hitter for the Cardinals with 2 outs, and Gorman on first. Scott is hitting .242 this year with a .657 OPS. He plays a great defensive center field, has a lot of speed, and has stolen, I believe, 22 bases now. Maybe 21. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball up and in. It's 0-1. The Cubs are playing Scott to pull with the third baseman in case he tries a bunt. 2 outs, 1 man on. The 0-1. He is up and away with the changeup, 1-1. We'll see if Scott can have a nice long at-bat here. Make Taillon continue to work. There is a little bit of a hole up the middle as they are holding the runner on at first, which makes lining up a little bit tougher on defense. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Missed downstairs with the changeup, 2-1. Victor Scott hits it to the center of the field the least, which is why they are playing a little bit of a gap in the middle of the defense. Only 29% of his batted balls go up the middle. Most of them go left or right. That might have something to do with the bunt strategy as well, though. Here is the 2-1 pitch from Taillon. Low and in, it bounces in the dirt. Nice throw back to first by the Cub catcher today, McGuire, but he is unable to get Gorman. That one almost hit Scott. Gorman almost tried to advance, but then a back pick attempt by McGuire sent him back to first. He's lucky to get back. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Scott. He squares around and pops a bunt foul. It is 3-2. So a good idea from Scott there. He probably saw the defense adjusting and tried to lay one down, but not a great bunt attempt. So Gorman will get a head start. Here's the 3-2 pitch with 2 outs to Scott. Fouled back, and we'll do it again. So a little bit of running practice for Gorman. We'll take a second as he returns to the base. On deck is Brendan Donovan. Another 3-2 pitch to Victor Scott. Swing and a miss on a fastball up and away. Down goes Scott, but the Cardinals lead 2-0 after a Newt Bar bomb over the bullpen. Michael McGreevy when we come back. Alrighty. So Nico Hoerner, Matt Shaw, and Reese McGuire. We saw Hoerner and Shaw yesterday. We'll take a look at McGuire now. What? Does Reese McGuire not exist? Let's give this one more try. There we go. All right, 883 OPS. He's been good as well. I mean, everyone in the Cubs lineup has had a pretty nice season. He doesn't walk enough, doesn't hit the ball super hard, but he barrels it up with a great launch angle a lot. He is 30 years old, has 4 homers on the year. Sample size really low. That's why he is 10 for 39 with a 256 average. And an 883 OPS due to the slug being 590. So probably a lot of extra base hits in those 10 hits. 4 of them are homers, so that makes sense. It's a really odd stat line, so he's kind of a home run or bust type hitter, it seems like. That's something to note at the bottom of the order. There's no history between McGreevy and the Cubs. I'll put Hoerner back up as he's due up first. I also like having the picture of the player. All right, the game is back. The first pitch is in there with the sweeper to Nico Hoerner. It's 0-1. That one was right down the middle, and Hoerner's going to call time. Sinker missed outside to Hoerner. It is 1-1. The 1-1 pitch doesn't get the call on a sinker below the zone. It's 2-1 on Nico Hoerner. Hoerner is batting 7th today. He's hitting .288 on the year, but just a .684 OPS. The first next pitch, he goes the other way and drops one into right field for a base hit in front of Burleson. And that is the second hit of the game for the Cubs. So Hoerner is 1 for 1 against McGreevy. That was a catchable ball for a lot of right fielders, so that's one of these unfortunate moments where Burleson's speed catches up to the Redbirds, but it is what it is. Horner on first, with nobody out in the third. And that will bring up Matt Shaw. Shaw is hitting .219 with a .611 OPS this year. Goes inside with the sinker. It's 1-0. So McGreevy already allowed a base runner this inning. He's trying to protect a 2-0 lead for the Cardinals. He's up above 30 pitches now. The 1-0 pitch to Shaw is low and away with the sweeper, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. He's right in there with the sweeper. It's 2-1. Up and in sinker, called a strike 2. It's 2-2. Lots of the Rangers, so I guess it sounds like I'm saying LOTS. His name LATZ, Lots. He's throwing a no-hitter for the Rangers right now, as here's an inside-out swing to center field for a base hit for Matt Shaw. That was another bloop single for the Cubs. Didn't look great off the bat. I wasn't sure if it was going to be caught, but it did fall into center field in front of Victor Scott. So there's 2 men on with nobody out for Reese McGuire. This is a big moment in the game. 2 men on with nobody out. We'll see if McGreevy can settle in here. First pitch to McGuire. He squares around, drops a bunt, and fouls it off. It's 0-1. Strikeout would be really big here for McGreevy, so we'll see if he can dodge these bunts and get to a 2-strike count. Here's the 0-1. Fouls it down the third baseline on a bunt attempt. It's 0-2. So McGreevy ahead of McGuire here. We'll see what he has in the bag with 2 men on and nobody out. And an 0-2 count. See if he can get a chase. The 0-2 pitch to McGuire. Drops the curveball below the zone. It's 1-2. So McGreevy with his deep pitch mix went to the curveball there. He has a lot of options to try to get a chase. Didn't get one there. Ian Happ is waiting on deck. At the top of the Cubs order, the 1-2, swing and a miss on a changeup low and away. Down goes McGuire. And that will bring up Happ with 2 men on. So a double play could get the Cardinals out of this. It is Happ and Tucker due up next for the Cubs with 2 men on and 1 out. In the third, the Cardinals lead 2-0, and McGreevy is about to throw his 40th pitch of the ball game. First pitch from McGreevy missed outside with the curveball, 1-0. Ian Happ is 0 for 1 with a line out back in the first. The 1-0 pitch is in there with the fastball up and away for strike 1. So the count is at 1-1. Big at bat in the game for both teams. McGreevy delivers the 1-1 pitch. He is in the dirt with the changeup, 2-1. McGreevy does seem a lot more comfortable in the windup than the stretch, but still trying to find the zone against Happ. It is 2-1. Here is the pitch to Ian Happ. Missed downstairs with the sinker. It's 3-1. So this will be a tough spot. Basically has to find the zone here with Kyle Tucker waiting on deck. 2 men on and 1 out. The 3-1 pitch to Happ is low and in with the fastball, and that is ball 4. So McGreevy loads the bases with 1 out. And it's going to be Kyle Tucker for the Cubs in a very big moment in this one. The Cardinals are going to have an infield meeting. I'm sure Dusty Blake wants to speak with McGreevy, settle him back in, and hopefully get some outs. All right, so the infield meeting is over. Dusty Blake heading back to the dugout. 1 out, bases loaded. It is Kyle Tucker and then Seiya Suzuki up next for the Cubs in a 2-0 game in favor of St. Louis so far. Tucker's a guy who can ground into a double play, but it doesn't happen often. He's a guy who makes a lot of good contact. Here's the pitch from McGreevy. Low and in with the sweeper. It's 1-0. There is nowhere to put Tucker. Tucker's been incredible with the bases loaded in his career. A .420 batting average, 29 for 69, with 5 grand slams and 85 runs batted in these situations. The 1-0, driven up the middle. That's a base hit. Both runs are going to come in to score from second and third. And Happ will go first to third. It is 2-2 in the third inning with 1 out. So a huge base hit there from Kyle Tucker, and we are even in the third. Tucker is 2 for 2 today. And that will bring up Seiya Suzuki, who grounded into a double play his first time up. First pitch from McGreevy to Suzuki. Catches the outside part of the plate with a sweeper. It's 0-1. Suzuki is 0 for 1 so far in the game. Chance for another double play here. McGreevy now up at 47 pitches, so he might not be able to go as far as initially hoped. But hopefully he can get through 5 regardless. The 0-1 pitch is driven high in the air to left field. Back at the wall and gone. Seiya Suzuki hits one into the Cubs bullpen in left field. And the Cubs lead 5-2. 110 miles an hour off the bat, 404 feet. And the Cardinals' work is cut out for them. 92 miles an hour right down the middle. Not a good pitch from McGreevy. Easily crushable for Seiya, and he did just that. Put the barrel right on it. So now trailing 2-5. Here's the first pitch from McGreevy to Crow Armstrong. Misses downstairs with the fastball, 1-0. Pete Crow Armstrong grounded out back in the second. Here's the 1-0 pitch from McGreevy, the 50th pitch of his day. Ground ball. Nice play at first by Contreras for out number 2. So it is a dogfight now. A couple of home runs each way. The Cubs lead by 3. We'll see if the Cardinals can rally back over the course of this game. First pitch to Swanson with 2 outs is outside, 1-0. Dansby has 14 homers this year, hitting .237. The 1-0 pitch from McGreevy. Swing and a miss on a sweeper low and away. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Low and away again with the sweeper. It's 2-1. So McGreevy seems to like the sweeper against Swanson. See if he finds the zone with this one. The 2-1 pitch popped up. Playable at first for Contreras. He'll make the grab. And we go to the bottom of the third after a 5-run third inning, topped off by a 3-run bomb for Suzuki. Puts the Cubs up 5-2. So the Cardinals at the top of their order back up. It starts with Donovan. Donovan's going to have to reach base here. So if we can go ahead and try to map out another inning like what happened last time. Donovan gets on base, 45% of the time against Taillon, so hopefully he can reach. Win, it's unlikely he'll reach, but Burleson's been great against Taillon, so maybe Donovan gets on, Burleson drives him in, and the Cardinals can at least get back 1 or 2 of those runs and keep this game close. As it is a long game, so scratching back, getting a couple of the runs back would be big for the Redbirds over the course of the rest of this one. Couple of guys with limited experience pitching today, so you expect runs to go up. You were hoping not to give up 5 in 1 inning, but it goes that way sometimes. And the game's going to be back any second. All right, here we go. Nootbaar could hit in this inning. He's the 5th hitter in the order, so if a couple guys reach, he could already be the tying run in the ball game. First pitch to Donovan, missed outside. It's 1-0. It is 5-2 Cubs after a 3-run bomb from Seiya Suzuki. The 1-0 pitch from Taillon. Driven the other way for a base hit for Brendan Donovan, and Donovan starts off the third nicely for the Cardinals with a single. Just a fastball up and away. Donovan goes down, puts the barrel on it, doesn't try to do too much, just strokes it out the other way for a base hit. So with 1 man on and nobody out, it's going to bring up Mason Wynn. Wynn has struggled against Taillon in his career, so we'll see if that continues. Here's the first pitch. Right down the middle with the cutter, it's 0-1. Taillon never fails to attack the hitters who have struggled against him, and Wynn is on that list. The 0-1 pitch from Taillon. Wynn squares around, drops a bunt, but lets it go foul. It's 0-2. So that did not go the way the Cardinals planned. Wynn might have had a bunt hit if he kept that fair. Instead, it's 0-2 with Donovan on first. So we'll see if he can work an at-bat and stay alive here. The 0-2 pitch from Taillon. Hanging sweeper driven out to left field. Back goes Seiya. He is going to watch that one fly, and it's gone. So Mason Wynn turns the tables on Taillon with a 2-run bomb, and it is 5-4. That one 383 feet to left field into the Cubs bullpen. Only 97 miles an hour off the bat, and Taillon read that one incorrectly. He was trying to track it down, and I wasn't sure off the bat, so that's why I was caught off guard. It is 5-4. First pitch to Burleson. He is up and away with the curveball, 1-0. So home runs are going back in fourth today. The Cardinals are right back in this one. It's 5-4. The second pitch to Burleson right down the middle. It's 1-1. Feels like Taillon is working really quickly trying to get over that homer. And that was Wynn's first real success against Taillon. And now Burleson drives one out to left field. That's going to be playable. Taillon makes that catch for out number 1. So that's going to bring up Willson Contreras. Contreras scored a run his first time around. He had a base hit, and Nootbaar was able to drive him in. Contreras now above the 250 mark in the batting average, hitting 251. With a 759 OPS, the first pitch from Taillon. He is outside with the sweeper, 1-0. Home runs already by Seiya Suzuki, Mason Wynn, and Lars Nootbaar. The 1-0 pitch. Outside with the fastball, 2-0. Contreras against his former team here. He absolutely rakes against the Cubs. Here's the 2-0. Puts it right down the middle with the cutter. It's 2-1. Contreras loves it when they pour the booze on, and he is in Wrigley. Also loves just facing them in St. Louis. The 2-1 pitch from Taillon. Up and in, pulled, foul, 2-2. Contreras has 10 home runs on the year. And 1 home run in his career against the Cubs, but 8 RBIs in 20 games, hitting .359 against the former team. And Taillon is going to be throwing his 50th pitch of the game here. Contreras calls time. So he'll give himself a breather, reset the pitch clock. Cubs are going to play him with some space up the middle. The 2-2 pitch. Popped up. That was a sweeper right down the middle. And it will be caught behind the plate by McGuire for out number 2. So Contreras with an unfortunate pop out behind the plate. It's going to bring up Lars Nootbaar, who had a 2-run homer his first time up. That was his 11th of the year. He's hitting .232 now, with a 728 OPS. First pitch from Taillon to Nootbaar. He is outside with the fastball, 1-0. So Nootbaar is batting as the tying run this inning. But we didn't expect the Cardinals to have already scored 2 by that point. The 1-0. He's outside again with the fastball, 2-0. As we said at the start of the game, the best way to attack Taillon is to wait for your pitch and try to barrel it up. He gives up some of the highest barrel rate in the league. The 2-0 pitch, right down the middle with the curveball, 2-1. Nootbaar does have 35 RBIs on the year. The 2-1 pitch from Taillon. He is a fastball low and in for strike 2. So the count is 2-2. Cardinals trail 4-5 at home against the Cubs in the bottom of the third. The 2-2 from Taillon. He is low with the changeup, 3-2. On deck is Nolan Arenado, who will bat should Nootbaar reach. He is 0 for 1. Here's the 3-2 from Taillon to Nootbaar. Missed low with the changeup. That is ball 4. And Nootbaar reaches for the second time today. So Taillon about to throw his 20th pitch of the third inning. Already had to throw 28 in the second inning. He is at 56. Arenado is a career .423 hitter against Taillon. The first pitch is in the dirt. It's going to skip past the catcher, which is McGuire, and that allows Nootbaar to advance to second with 2 outs. I would consider that. I'm not sure. I guess you give that a wild pitch. Would have been a tough one for any catcher. So with Nootbaar on second and 2 outs, and a 1-0 count, here is the pitch from Taillon to Arenado. Inside, pulled over to third. Shaw is there. He'll make the throw, and down goes Arenado. But the Cardinals do get 2 runs back on a homer by Mason Wynn. It is 5-4. All right, so Bush will be due up first for the Cubs. He's having a pretty nice year. We were looking at him earlier. .869 OPS. I believe that's the best year of his career. Yeah, he's only played these 3 years, so just steady increases in performance from Bush. Was drafted by the Dodgers. You notice that a lot on those guys that are drafted by the Dodgers. They just keep getting better. He's kept his walk rate about the same. I mean, he really showed out last year as a pretty good player, but the high strikeout rate makes you question it, because, I mean, you see what happened to Gorman. Gorman had all of the contact numbers in the red, but the strikeout rate pulled them all down eventually. His strikeout rate was pulling his expected batting average down. This year, he fixed it to a degree, down to 22.5%. That got the rest of the numbers back up with an .869 OPS. So Bush having a fantastic year. You have Horner and Shaw as well. So we'll see if McGreevy can settle back in. Try to stop the flow from the Cubs, as they had one big burst in the third. And McGreevy's at 54 pitches. So if you can get through 5 innings with him, you got to be satisfied with that. 6 would be incredible at this point, especially if you can keep him at 5. So the game is back. Here we go. First pitch to Bush is in there with the curveball at the bottom of the zone. It's 0-1. Michael Bush is 0 for 1 so far in the game today. Second pitch is fouled back, 0-2. Cardinals are in second in the NL Central behind the Cubs, trying to earn a lot of ground back over the course of this series. Still trail 5-4 in this one so far. Here's the 0-2 pitch from McGreevy to Bush. Missed low and away with the sweeper, 1-2. This has been McGreevy's worst start of his career so far. The 1-2 is in the dirt, 2-2. If he can extend it a little while, he could definitely make it look much better than it has looked so far. Obviously, it's tough to make your way into the big leagues against a lineup as good as the Cubs. So hopefully he settles in. The 2-2 to Bush. Driven in the air to left field. That's going to be playable for Nootbaar. He's going to make the grab for out number 1. So 1 out. That's going to bring up Nico Horner. Horner is 1 for 1. Eventually came around to score his first time up. That was in that third inning. Huge inning, last inning for the Cubs. 60th pitch of the game for McGreevy, the first pitch to Horner. Here it is. Inside 1-0. So Horner ahead in the count again. He's hitting .290 now after his hit earlier today. The 1-0 pitch is right down the middle with the sweeper, 1-1. I say a lot of pitches are down the middle, but that one was dead red right down the middle. Here is the 1-1 pitch to Horner. That one smoked up the middle, but Scott makes the catch on the run in center field for out number 2. Should have said it's in the air, but yeah. Hit that one over the infield, and Scott had to make a nice running grab. So 2 outs, that's going to bring up Matt Shaw. Shaw getting the start again at third base. He had a hit earlier in the game. Hitting .224 so far this season. First pitch catches the inside corner with the sinker. It's 0-1. That was a perfect pitch from McGreevy. Nothing Shaw could have done about that one. The 0-1 pitch to Shaw. Right down the middle with the sinker. It's 0-2. So 2 really nice moving sinkers from McGreevy. Shaw must struggle with that pitch if McGreevy goes to it back-to-back. Let's see if he has something to play off of it here. The 0-2 pitch to Shaw. Goes down and pops this one in the air to center. Victor Scott is there. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for McGreevy. So a great bounce back inning. It is still 5-4 Cubs. Here come the Cardinals in the 4th. All right, so who's due up? It's going to be Gorman, Pages, and Scott. And I will be right back. All right, so these are Gorman's numbers. He's getting that walk rate up. He's had a good amount of success against Taillon, although most of it comes from 1 home run. Then it's going to be Pages and Scott. Pages has been pretty good against Taillon as well with 1 home run. Scott has struggled a little bit. But he's a guy who can bunt for a hit. He's a little bit of a wild card, so pretty deep lineup for the Cardinals against Taillon specifically. Hopefully that works out. Obviously, Pages, a great defensive catcher. You love having him in the game. Settles in a pitcher like McGreevy. Keeps the offense in the game by way of the defense. Here's the first pitch from Taillon to Gorman. Up and away with the fastball, 1-0. So it's still 5-4 Cubs. It's the bottom of the 4th inning. Gorman is 1 for 1 with a single back in the second. The 1-0 pitch is low with the cutter. 2-0. Gorman hitting .217 with 5 homers this year, a 707 OPS. The 2-0 pitch is popped up. Into foul ground. Shaw makes the call, but it's going to get into the netting, and he will crash up against the crowd a little bit. He seems fine, just a little uncomfortable after that one. 2-1. I'm not sure he knew where that wall was. Tried to jump into the net. It looks like it hit him in the head off of the net, so that can't be comfortable. He had right in the head, so they might have to take a look at Shaw, actually. That's the thing, is he looked fine physically, so I figured he was okay, but they're going to have to check for a concussion. Make sure he's seeing well. He's just putting the hat back on his head. He's saying he's okay. So in baseball, that means he's staying in the game. He's still going to be playing third. And the ball will go right back to Taillon. So that is a relief. Shaw will still be here in the ball game. So we'll settle back in here. Nolan Gorman at the plate. The 2-1 pitch from Taillon. Right down the middle, driven high in the air to left center. That ball is smoked, and that ball is gone. A solo home run for Nolan Gorman, and we are tied once again in St. Louis, 5-5. Just a fastball right down the middle. That's exactly where Gorman wants it. Goes down and barrels it up to right center field. No chance for anyone to have even a look at that one before they know it is gone. So it's 5-5. That's going to bring up Pedro Pages. First pitch to him is fouled back. It's 0-1. Cardinals hitters getting to all of the Cubs starters this series. That is their 7th home run of the series already. And plenty more to go. The 0-1 pitch from Taillon to Pages. He is right down the middle with the sweeper. It's 0-2. Gorman having himself a day. He's 2 for 2. An RBI and a run scored, obviously both of those being the homer. The 0-2 is driven into right center field by Pages. That one's going to get down for extra bases. So Pedro Pages continues his success against Taillon. He has a double. So Pages on second with nobody out in the 4th of a 5-5 ball game. Victor Scott with a great opportunity to move him over for the top of the order. Just went and got a fastball at the top of the zone, let it travel a little bit, then barreled it up into the right center gap. Nothing PCA could do to make his way to that one. Excuse me. First pitch from Taillon to Victor Scott II. He's instead going to step off for the first disengagement and check on Pages. Plenty of open space down the third base line for Victor Scott. We'll see if he takes advantage. First pitch, he will bunt that one down the third base line, foul. So it's 0-1. Looks like the Cubs have the wheel play going. Third baseman in. They're going to try to get the runner at third via the wheel play. That being said, they're starting the shortstop so far back that I don't know if he could get there faster than the runner. That being Swanson versus Pages. The 0-1 pitch. Up and away with the fastball, 1-1. Swanson should be faster than Pages, so I guess there's not that much of a problem for the Cubs there, but it'd be incredibly impressive of Swanson to catch the ball and tag him at the same time. The 1-1. Missed downstairs with the curveball, but Victor Scott went around, so it's 1-2. So with Pages on second and nobody out, it's a 1-2 count on Scott. So he can now maybe pull one to the right-hand side of the field and move Pages that way. The pitch misses upstairs, it's 2-2. The bunt attempt doesn't make too much sense in my opinion, but it is what it is. He could just pull it. The 2-2 pitch, pulled, foul. Still 2-2. If he could keep that fair, that's going to move the runner over and also could produce a hit if he hits it in the right spot. But a good at-bat from Victor Scott either way. A lot of pitches coming from Taillon. Man on second with nobody out, the 2-2. Up and away with the fastball. It's 3-2 on Victor Scott. Scott is not a guy you want to put on base. Obviously, he's a little bit limited with Pajes in front of him. But he could still score on an extra base hit. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Taillon to Victor Scott. Low and away with the fastball. The Cardinals get a close call there. It's called a ball. And that is ball 4. So 2 men on with nobody out. And that's going to bring up Brendan Donovan. And it's also going to bring out the pitching coach of the Chicago Cubs. Looks to be one of the younger pitching coaches in baseball. Donovan is 9 for 21 in his career against Taillon. At least that's how it was coming into the game. He is 1 for 2 in the game today, so that puts him at 10 for 22. I only realized that because they're using the exact same graphic as earlier, so they did not update the numbers. Sorry, he's 10 for 23 in his career against Taillon. So 2 men on, nobody out for Donovan. Donovan's been one of the best hitters for the Cardinals this year. Over the course of this game, he actually overtook Burleson for the highest OPS at 813. First pitch, low and away. He pops up a curveball to left. Easy play for Taillon. He'll make the grab and keep the runners at first and second. So that is unfortunate for the Cardinals. It means someone's going to need to get a hit in order to drive in Pajes. No sac flies will be allowed this inning unless there is a walk or a passed ball. But Mason Wynn already has a homer today, and he is up to bat now. Big hole in left center. Also a hole on the right side of the infield. The first pitch to Wynn. Pulled. Fair down the left field line. Both runs are going to come in to score. Taillon's going to have to play it off the wall, and it's a 2 RBI double for Mason Wynn. Huge game from him. It is 7-5 Cardinals. This game is going to have fireworks. It's Cardinals Cubs. It's a couple of pitchers who have struggled this season. Wynn goes outside and pulls this one down the line. Brings in both runners. And here comes Alec Burleson. Victor Scott was absolutely flying around the base paths. He didn't need to, but he does because he's fast. First pitch to Burleson. In there with the cutter outside, it's 0-1. Burleson is 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a flyout. Trying to drive in Mason Wynn from second as the Cardinals lead 7-5 already. The 0-1 from Taillon. Up and in, pulled foul. That one was way above the zone. Burleson still made contact because he loves those high pitches, but couldn't get to that one. The 0-2 pitch from Taillon to Burleson. Top of the zone, driven in the air to center. High and deep. PCA tracks that one down at the warning track for out number 2. He thought that was the third out, and that's going to allow the runner to score. Mason Wynn scores from second on a sac fly, a mistake from Pete Crow Armstrong. He thought it was the third out, didn't look, and Mason Wynn takes 2 bases from the Cubs. 8-5, Redbirds in the 4th. Huge mistake from Crow Armstrong. Great job by Pop Warner, the third base coach. And it's a 3-run lead for the Cardinals. as Contreras chases a low and outside sweeper for strike one. Can't have that in center field. You got to keep your head in the game. That is worth an entire run in the ball game, as Contreras takes a fastball above the zone, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch is in there for strike two with the fastball. It's 1-2. So 2 outs, nobody on. The Cardinals lead 8-5 after a big mistake from PCA. And I said there would be no sac fly. Well, I was proven wrong. The 1-2 pitch from to Contreras. He chases that one for strike three. We go to the fifth. It is 8-5 after a huge 3-run inning from the Cardinals. 4-run inning, actually. Alrighty. Wow. A lot of action there. It's going to be McGuire due up first. We'll just leave his numbers up. I'm going to need a minute. All right, so Reese McGuire, and then the top of the order. One guy we haven't looked at is Tucker today, so I'll just leave those red lines up. Obviously, Tucker's incredible. He's been incredible today, but nothing he can do about the pitching. He's watched a couple balls fly right over his head today. And now they have a 3-run deficit to try to come back from. And McGreevy seems to have settled back in. So Cardinals are back in the driver's seat of this one. Hopefully McGreevy can settle back in. I don't know that I've seen a really great defensive center fielder get lost out there like that, but, you know, it happens. Lose track of the game. It happens in different ways. A sac fly from second base isn't usually how it looks. But I'm sure, I mean, you know, we had Victor Scott tip one off his glove and give up a homer earlier this year, so it happens. Looks like a Tampa Bay Rays starter has a perfect game going into the 6th against the Royals, so that's going to be something to look at. First pitch to McGuire is right down the middle at 93. It's 0-1 from McGreevy. So McGreevy's thrown 66 pitches in the game. Trying to get through a couple more innings for the Cardinals. Swing and a miss on a curveball in the dirt. It's 0-2 now to McGuire. It's going to be tough for McGreevy to go more than 3 times through the order. But we'll see if he settles in against the top half of it here. Here's the ground ball from McGuire to second. Easy play for Donovan for out number 1. So here we go. It's back to the top of the order. Can McGreevy get through 5 and get past Happ and Tucker? We get to find out right now. This is a pretty big swing point in the game because if McGreevy can get through the lineup again, it's going to be really tough for the Cubs. But if they get to him here, it's anybody's game. First pitch to Happ. He's in there with the curveball low and away. It's 0-1. Happ is 0 for 1, did walk and come around to score. His last time at the plate. He takes a changeup low. It's 1-1. Mason Wynn obviously having an incredible day for the Cardinals, but the real story is just not very good pitching from either side. The 1-1 pitch. Top of the zone, pulled for a base hit. So Happ has his first hit of the game. It'll be Happ on first with 1 out for Kyle Tucker. Tucker is 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs against McGreevy. Big at bat coming here. McGreevy definitely doesn't need to throw 100 pitches in this one, but hopefully he can get through 5. Hasn't retired Tucker yet in the game. First pitch. Reaches out and pops this one into center field. Victor Scott misreads the ball, but does retreat and make the catch for out number 2. So there you go. Victor Scott also made a mistake in center, but that one was fixable, luckily for the Cardinals. 2 outs. 1 man on first, that is Hap, for Seiya Suzuki. Cardinals playing Seiya to pull. He has a 3-run homer and a grounded into double play in the game today, so the best and the worst. First pitch in there for a strike. It's 0-1. It was a nice pitch up and in. McGreevy now at 73 pitches. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Seiya. It is low and away with the sweeper, 1-1. On deck is Pete Crow Armstrong. The Cardinals definitely don't want to see him this inning, with the frustration of his recent mistake. See if McGreevy can get this out and prevent it. He's going to step off. Take a quick look at Hap. This is a first disengagement. And he digs back into the rubber. The 1-1 pitch to Suzuki. Swing and a miss on a sweeper low and away. It's 1-2. Great pitch from McGreevy there. It looked like it was going to catch the lower outside part of the plate. Nothing Suzuki could do as it dropped off the face of the earth. The 1-2 pitch from McGreevy. Goes to the sweeper again. That one, nice block by Pajes. It was low and away, 2-2. Thought that one might get away from him. Great job by Pajes. Suzuki does have 8 two-strike homers this year with 20 RBIs in 2-strike counts. So we are not done yet. The 2-2 pitch from McGreevy. Pulled and knocked down by Arenado at third. He makes an incredible turnaround throw, but does not get Seiya, so it's an infield hit for Suzuki. Incredible job by Arenado to knock it down. Could have been extra bases if he didn't. And he somehow knocked it down, bounced it back up into his hand, turned around and threw the ball. All in under a second. But could not make the play. It actually snuck out of his glove. He could have just caught the ball. That's some gold glove play from Arenado right there. Just barely didn't get Suzuki, so here comes Pete Crow Armstrong. And Marmol does not want to see this. He is going to go talk to McGreevy, and McGreevy is done. So no problems there. McGreevy goes 4 2/3, gives up 5 runs to the Cubs. And we're going to bring in a lefty to face Pete Crow Armstrong. Great job hanging in there by McGreevy. So let's see who this could possibly be. They did not show me who the pitcher is going to be, so we have to kind of guess. My guess is Jojo Romero. I mean, it's a 1-out situation for a lefty. That's where you use Jojo. I don't think there's much question. I'm actually going to pull up his stats. Like Steven Matz might be a little bit better in this spot, but the main problem for Jojo has been a high walk rate. You already have the base open. 2.74 ERA. Gets a really high ground ball rate at 56.7%. Not a lot of barrels. Pretty soft contact. I think that's a pretty easy decision. You go ahead and go Jojo. It was a really smart decision by Oliver Marmol. Get a new pitcher for PCA. Give him some more time to breathe after that mistake. It looks like the game is back. Here we go. So is it JoJo? 2 men on, 2 outs here in the 5th. It's going to be Steven Matz instead. Matz has been better than Romero. And I guess he's going to come in for multiple innings. Here's the pitch. Misses up and in with the curveball. It's 1-0. So I guess that makes sense. PCA has been a lot worse against lefties with only 10 extra base hits and a 200 batting average. The 1-0 pitch. Top of the zone, pulled to right field. On comes Burleson, makes a sliding catch. Great play by Burleson. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It is 8-5 Cardinals. Wow. Even Burleson playing great defense. And it makes sense that they go to Matz because he can eat out multiple innings. So he'll be back out there next inning. He's a former starting pitcher. Incredible. It's going to be Nootbaar, Arenado, and Gorman. Okay, so Nootbaar's been pretty good today. Team settling back in. I wonder if Taillon's still going to be in the game. 81 pitches. Guess we could look at some other options. But they are trailing now, so you might as well leave them in. 3-run game in the 5th. That's interesting. I mean, if we look at who they have available, they already had to use a long reliever in yesterday's game. Do you have like a series roster or a day-by-day roster? Because I wonder if this changed. It didn't. Okay. They could go to flex in at some point soon. It's interesting. But either way, here we go. Nootbaar going to be coming up to the plate. It's going to be Thielbar against Nootbaar, so a couple of bars going on here. Caleb Thielbar with a 2.2 ERA this year. Great expected batting average against. The whip at 1.01. Does have a pretty high walk rate and a pretty low ground ball rate, so you can get to him by hitting the ball where the defense isn't. First pitch to Nootbaar is low and away with the fastball. 1-0. The strikeout rate is about average. So also you can beat him by having a long at-bat. The 1-0 pitch to Noot is low and in. A perfectly placed fastball. It's 1-1. So with an 8-5 lead in the bottom of the 5th, Nootbaar is up. The 1-1 pitch. He is upstairs, 2-1. Nootbaar has a 2-run homer and a walk in the game today. He's reached base both times. It will be Nootbaar, Arenado, and Gorman against the lefty. Here's the 2-1. Low and away. It's 3-1 on Nootbaar. So Nootbaar ahead in the count here. Let's see if he gets a pitch to hit. The 3-1 pitch from Thielbar. Just catches the bottom of the zone with the fastball. 3-2. Here comes another one. The 3-2 pitch from Taillon. Swing and a miss. So Taillon is the better bar today. Down goes Nootbaar for out number 1. So 1 out, that's going to bring up Nolan Arenado. Arenado is 0 for 2 so far in the game today. Has the platoon advantage against Taillon. First pitch to Arenado. He is low, 1-0. Arenado has 10 home runs on the season, a .713 OPS, 39 runs batted in. The 1-0 pitch from Taillon. Pulled over to third. Tough play for Shaw. He's going to bounce it over to first for out number 2. Good play by Shaw there. Just made it playable for his first baseman, Bush. And with 2 outs, that will bring up Nolan Gorman. Outside of Mason Wynn, Gorman's had one of the most impressive games today. He is 2 for 2. Has a solo homer. And has played a pretty good game at DH. Upstairs with the sweeper, it's 1-0. 2 outs, nobody on. Cardinals lead by 3. It's a lefty-lefty matchup between Taillon and Gorman. The 1-0 pitch to Gorman. Hanging sweeper there, fouled back, it's 1-1. The 1-1 from Taillon to Gorman. Swing and a miss on a fastball up and in. It's 1-2. So Taillon is ahead in the count on Gorman here. Gorman already has 2 hits in the game, a single and a solo homer. Trying to stay alive here. 12th pitch of the inning for Taillon. The 1-2 to Gorman. Missed it low and away with the sweeper, 2-2. Great job by Gorman to not chase that one. It's a pitch you'd expect him to chase over the last couple of seasons. The 2-2 from Taillon. Popped foul. We'll do it again. Pretty good at-bat from Gorman. And Taillon is going to call time. I don't know exactly what's happening. A little bit of miscommunication from Taillon and McGuire. McGuire is just going to make sure it's all cleared up. If I were an opposing team, I basically just wouldn't throw fastballs to Gorman. Seems to hit most of his home runs against the fastball. You put a fastball right down the middle, that's when you're going to pay. But we'll see if the Cubs agree. The 2-2 pitch to Gorman. Swing and a miss on a slider low and away. Down goes Gorman. We go to the 6th. It's 8-5 Cardinals. So they didn't throw him that fastball. So Steven Matt's probably still going to be in the game. We'll go ahead and leave his numbers up for a little bit longer. He's trying to play long reliever today with the lead. Very low walk rate. That's fantastic when you have a defense like the Cardinals. Pretty good strikeout rate. Really nice ground ball rate at 46.1%. Good whiff rate. Keeps the barrels low. But some of these baseballs are hit pretty hard, so he could get beaten by consistent hard hit balls and not getting a whole lot of chase or whiff. So essentially, when people swing, they usually hit the ball against him. He's putting it in the zone. So like singles, basically the best way to beat Matz is just single, 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 a couple of doubles. He has given up some homers in his career for sure. And it's going to be, let's see. Swanson, Bush, and Horner. So McGreevy got called back up from Memphis. Garrett Hampson was claimed off of Cincinnati's waivers. And we designated Barrero for assignment. So Cardinals end up with Hampson, who was playing for the Reds against us not long ago. As Swanson takes ball 1 up and away. Here's the 1-0. Missed outside again. It's 2-0 with the sinker that time. So Matt's trying to protect a 3-run lead here. The 2-0 pitch to Swanson. Pulled over to left field for a base hit. So Swanson reaches to lead off the 6th. And that will bring up Michael Bush. That was just a sinker at the top of the zone. Swanson just put the barrel on it and turned on it out to left field for a base hit. So with 1 man on and nobody out, it's going to bring up Michael Bush. Bush is 0 for 2 in the game so far, as Matz misses inside with the curveball, 1-0. Bush digs back in. It's a 1-0 count from Matz to Bush. The 1-0 is popped up. Broken bat from Bush. It's actually going to drop and be caught by Victor Scott. Okay, so a little bit of a misreaction there. I got by Mason Wynn there. He pretended that ball was dropping as Victor Scott charged in and made the catch. So 1 out, 1 man on. And that will bring up Nico Horner. First pitch from Matz to Horner. He is upstairs with the sinker, 1-0. Perfect game was broken up from Tampa Bay, so no more of that discussion. The 1-0 pitch from Matz to Horner. He is driven in the air to left field. It's high and it is deep. Nootbaar at the wall. It's gone. A 2-run home run from Nico Horner brings the Cubs back within a run. First home run of the year for Horner. And his 33rd RBI. 97 off the bat, 364 feet. Horner barrels up Matz, and it's 8-7 in this 6th inning. So that is incredibly unfortunate. Here's the first pitch to Shaw. Popped foul. 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. In there for strike 2 with the curveball. It's 0-2. The 0-2 from Matz. He's a little low with the curveball, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch from Matz. Missed just upstairs with the sinker. It's 2-2 on Shaw. Shaw is 1 for 2 in the ballgame today. Did come around to score earlier in the 3rd. The 2-2 pitch. Grounded foul. It's still 2-2. So another 2-2 from Matz. It's going to be his 15th pitch of the ball game. Here it is. Swing and a miss on a sinker up and in. Down goes Shaw, and that's going to bring up Reese McGuire. McGuire is 0 for 2 with a strikeout so far today. There's nobody on and 2 outs here in the 6th. Perfect sinker up and away with the sinker. It's 0-1 on McGuire. Sorry about that. The 0-1 pitch is grounded foul, 0-2. So Matz is settling back in after the 2-run Horner homer. First homer of the year for him. I didn't even think that was possible. But he found the perfect pitch and drove it. So all respect to Horner. The 0-2 pitch from Matz. Missed up and away with the sinker. It's 1-2. The 1-2 from Matz to McGuire. Popped up. Playable. Catch made by Steven Matz down the third base line. What a play. And we will go to the bottom of the 6th. It is 8-7 Cardinals. Matz trying to hold back a smile, but realizing he did give up two runs in that inning. So frustration returning. Good job representing your performance there by him. I think it's going to be Pajes due up first for the Cardinals, so we'll get his numbers pulled up. He's been great against the Cubs specifically. I think it's going to be Cubs reliever once again, so let's try to figure out who they could go to here. Brazier pitched yesterday. Fulmer pitched yesterday. Flexen's a righty. You're only down by 1 now. Presley, I thought Presley was a closer. Porter Hodge is back from the IL. He's an 8th inning guy. I think Presley would make a lot of sense. They have him available. So I'm going to pull up what Presley has done so far for the Cubs. .62 whip, a 4.03 ERA. This would be a good chance for him to settle back in. Try to get that whip back down along with the ERA. Still gets a lot of ground balls. Doesn't give up very many barrels, but not a lot of strikeouts or swing and miss stuff at all. Everything seems to be hit hard and a pretty high walk rate as well. So the launch angle is awful for opposing hitters, but not getting any strikeouts. So long at-bats would do you good against Presley. Let's see what they're going to stick. Are they going to stick with Thielbar? That wouldn't surprise me either. Oh yeah, of course they will. Or nope, they're not going to. So it's going to be Chris Flexen. Flexen, the long reliever. So Pajes draws the change in pitcher. That's strange. A lot of lefties were due up, so I thought maybe they stick with Thielbar. Either way, here we go. Pedro Pajes versus Chris Flexen in the 6th. First pitch is low and away with the cutter. It's 1-0. It's going to be Pajes, Scott, Donovan, and Wynn this inning. Flexen trying to go through multiple innings here. The 1-0. Upstairs with the fastball, 2-0. I think it's a really tough game to manage from the perspective of Craig Counsell. But Flexen makes a good amount of sense. Here's the 2-0 to Pajes. In there for a strike with the cutter, it's 2-1. The other thing is they were probably planning on going to Flexen either way, so the 2-run difference probably didn't change the plan. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Pajes. Curveball catches the low and outside corner. Great pitch from Flexen. It's 2-2. Cardinals lead 8-7 in the bottom of the 6th. 2-2 pitch from Flexen to Pajes. Inside. Fouled it off with the fastball. Still 2-2. Victor Scott is waiting on deck. 2-2 pitch from Flexen to Pajes. Check swing. No, he didn't. The count is now full on Pajes. Pajes had a double his last time up, ended up scoring later in the inning. The 3-2 pitch from Flexen. Up and in, it's popped up. Might be playable. And it won't be. It's going to get into the seats. Still 3-2. So great at-bat by Pajes, making the long reliever already throw a lot of pitches. It's going to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat here to Pedro Pajes. Here's another 3-2 from Flexen. Driven in the air to right field. Easy play for Tucker. He finds it and makes the grab for out number 1. So with 1 out, that's going to bring up Victor Scott. He is 0 for 1. Does have an RBI and a walk. Sorry, a run and a walk. No RBI. He was able to score from second on the sac fly from Wynn. And pulls that one foul. Or sorry, Wynn scored from second. Jeez, I'm all over the place. He scored on the Wynn double down the left field line. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss on a fastball up and away. It's 0-2. Here's the 0-2 to Scott. Down low with the slider, it's still 1-2. Wait, I think yeah, whoops. Let's get that fixed. The 1-2 to Victor Scott is pulled over to first base. Easy play for Bush for out number 2. So that brings up Brendan Donovan with 2 outs and nobody on in the 6th. All right, that should fix it. There we go. All right, 2 outs, nobody on. Flexen still on the mound. The first pitch to Donovan. Drops the curveball right down the middle for strike 1. Donovan is 1 for 3 today. Does have a run scored on the Wynn double. The 0-1. Ground ball through for a base hit. So that's the second hit of the game for Donovan. And there's a man on with 2 outs for Mason Wynn. Wynn has been absolutely incredible today. He has a homer and a double down the line in his last 2 at-bats. He was 97 miles an hour into the Cubs bullpen the first time, and then he pulled the one down the third base line. First pitch from Flexen to Mason Wynn. He's in there low and away with the fastball. It's 0-1. A triple could put Wynn on cycle watch here. So could a single, although you would need the triple later. Here's the 0-1 to Mason Wynn. Up and in. That's a ball. It's 1-1. Cubs defense playing Win to pull. Big hole on the right side. The 1-1 pitch from Flexen. Way up and in with the curveball. 2-1. Here's the 2-1 from Flexen to Win. Nice slider low and away, popped up into center field. Couple guys make the call, but Horner makes the grab for out number 3. So we go to the 7th. It is 8-7 Cardinals over the Cubs. All right, so is it just Hap at the top of the order? I think it is, so I'll just get Hap's numbers ready to go. I think Matz is still going to be in the game. It is just a 1-run lead, and we're going into the 7th inning, so maybe the Cardinals have a 7-8-9 plan that they're going to go to, but with lefties coming up, I think you go Matz, because Hap is worse on the right-hand side. Let's see. Yeah, you stick with Matz for Hap and Tucker. Maybe through Suzuki and Crow Armstrong as well. Then you can go to your righties in the 8th and the 9th. I think you just let Matz go through Crow Armstrong. You probably wouldn't want him to face Swanson and Horner again, but I'd be okay with him facing Suzuki, as that would allow him to face 3 lefties as well. All right, so here we go. Ian Happ on the mound. It's going to be Jojo Romero, so that's another approach. A short-term lefty. Getting a new arm on the mound, as Matz didn't have his best stuff. That makes sense. It is 0-1 on Happ. Second pitch is low with the slider, 1-1. Romero's been pretty good this year, but does have a pretty high whip, so hopefully he can avoid the walk against the Cubs here. The 1-1 pitch to Happ. Ground ball. Easily playable at short for Win. He'll make the throw and get out number 1. So good job by Romero there. It's going to bring up Kyle Tucker. Romero just trying to get through this 7th inning against Happ, Tucker, Suzuki, and Crow Armstrong. First pitch to Tucker is outside, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch is outside again, 2-0 on Tucker. That one was way outside. It's almost like he's intentionally walking him. You do want to attack the zone, as there's nobody on, so only Tucker can drive in himself. The 2-0. 3-0 now on Kyle Tucker. Tucker is yet to strike out today. He's 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. The 3-0 pitch from Romero is called ball 4, up and away. And Kyle Tucker reaches with a walk. Jeez. Excuse me. So that will bring up Seiya Suzuki. Suzuki is 2 for 3 today. Already has a home run in this one, but also has a ground ball into a double play. First pitch, catches the outside corner with the slider. It's 0-1. So we'll see if Romero can get a ground ball here. Suzuki's been really good against lefties this year. The 0-1 is in there with the sinker. 0-2. So Romero did get a good call on that first pitch. Second one was in the zone, but Suzuki's not happy about that. So with an 0-2 count and 1 out, Romero gets set. Here's the 0-2 to Suzuki. In the dirt with the slider, 1-2. Suzuki has 21 homers on the year. Cardinals lead this one 8-7 in the 7th. Here's the 1-2 from Romero. Popped foul, still 1-2. Another 1-2 pitch from Romero is just above the zone, 2-2. Suzuki hitting .286 this year with runners on base. 13 of his 21 home runs have come with runners on. 59 runs batted in these situations. The 2-2 pitch is pulled fair down the third base line. Nootbaar on the run. Wynn is going to go out and grab that one and throw it to third, but Arenado was playing too far off the bag, so there are 2 men on now with 1 out. It's just a single for Suzuki. And there are runners at the corners with 1 out for Pete Crow Armstrong. That was an off-speed slider. A little inside on Suzuki, but that didn't stop him from getting his hands around on it. And belting it over to that third base line. So with runners at the corners and 1 out, Romero will face Crow Armstrong. This is going to be his last hitter in all likelihood. Crow Armstrong hitting just .198 against lefties this season. Cardinals playing the third baseman in case he tries a bunt. Here's the pitch. Catches the top of the zone with the sinker. It's 0-1. Crow Armstrong did make a mistake earlier in the game in center field. He bats in a huge spot here. The 0-1. He bunts it back to the mound. Romero looks the runner back to third. Makes the throw to first for the out. So that'll move runners to second and third in the 7th. With 2 outs now for Dansby Swanson. That bunt did not go where PCA wanted it. It was just right back to the mound. Really easy play for Romero. And is Romero going to stay in to face Dansby? No, he won't. So Romero is done. He puts a couple guys in scoring position, but hasn't allowed either one to score yet. So it could be a decent outing for Romero. 2 men on base, 2 outs recorded. And the Cardinals will go to Phil Maton in a huge moment in the game. Maton's been really good. Taillon's been pretty good this year. 6 pitching run value. That puts him in the 77th percentile. Doesn't throw super hard. Has a kind of high walk rate. But that doesn't really affect this situation because you have a base to give, if you will. Was drafted by the Padres. Has pitched a nice long career. He's 32 years old. And this is a really big moment in the game. Doesn't allow very much hard contact at all. All of his peripherals look great. Gets a lot of ground balls, no barrels, a lot of strikeouts. Just walks a couple hitters sometimes. That's not too big of a red flag. And he'll be facing Dansby Swanson in a huge moment. So here is Phil Maton. He has the ball. It is Tucker on third, Suzuki on second, Swanson at the plate with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. The Cardinals lead this one 8-7. Huge moment in the game. First pitch from Maton to Swanson. In there for strike 1 with the cutter low and away. It's 0-1. Dansby has the 4th lowest chase percentage on breaking balls this season. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Maton to Swanson. Goes outside of the zone on a sweeper there, pops it into right. Burleson on the run. Catches it up against the net. What a play by Burleson. We're going to need the call to be made. I believe he made the catch. And we are going to go to the bottom of the 7th with the lead. It is 8-7 Cardinals. Incredible play by Burleson. Council's going to see if he wants to challenge it. He will not. Incredible. Swanson, it's a fly ball to right field. Burleson, incredible grab against the net. Burleson's been so much better in the outfield this season. It's absolutely awesome. Great to see. Absolutely needed it right there as well. And now he's going to be due up to start this inning as well. So hopefully he keeps the momentum rolling. Definitely get his picture on the screen here. Let's see who the Cubs might go to here. It's still a 1-run game, so they might stick with Flexen. But you do have a lefty due up first. But due to the guys behind him, I think they will stick with Flexen. Well, it is Burleson, Contreras, Nootbaar. So you do have 2 lefties out of 3. 4th guy is Arenado, 5th is Gorman. So it just keeps going back and forth. I think you could go to a lefty here. I think that could be the right decision. You could go either way. Cubs do have Pomeranz available. He's kind of at the bottom of their bullpen, though. So I would be a little surprised by that. I think they might just roll with Flexen. Looks like it is going to be Pomeranz. So let's grab his numbers real fast. Left-handed pitcher, 0.92 whip, 0 ERA. He's actually been really good this year. But none of the peripheral stats support that. Just a good strikeout rate, a pretty low walk rate. So we'll see if the Cardinals can get to him. He's allowed a few barrels this year. And actually just got the first out on 1 pitch to Burleson, as it was a fastball at the bottom of the zone. He lofted it out to center field to PCA for out number 1. So that's going to bring up Wilson Contreras. Contreras does have the platoon advantage. But Pomeranz has 1 pitch, 1 out in the game. First pitch to Contreras is in there for a strike with the curveball. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Top of the zone fastball in there for a strike. It's 0-2. Contreras is 2 for 5 in his career against Pomeranz. Yet to strike out or hit a homer against him. The 0-2 pitch. Chopped over to third, foul. Still 0-2. Time called by the umpire. He says that Pomeranz needs to make eye contact. The 0-2 pitch. Popped the other way into the air at first. Bush makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 outs for Lars Nootbaar, who will bat in a lefty-lefty spot here. Pomeranz still has a 0 ERA. I don't know why his numbers look so bad as far as contact goes. Cardinals are improving his contact numbers as we speak. Here's the pitch to Nootbaar. Ground ball up the middle. Easy play for Swanson. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Drew Pomeranz. So a great inning from him. Cardinals still only lead by 1 as we go to the 8th. So it will be Bush, Horner, Shaw. So let's grab their hitting directions here. Like any switch hitters, I'm not actually sure. So Bush, lefty. I think Horner is a righty strictly. Yes, he is. So lefty, righty. And then Shaw, I believe, is just a righty as well. Yes, he is. So it's lefty, righty, righty. So you could go any way you want here as the Cardinals. Maton's already gotten a couple of outs, but he usually pitches more pitches than that. He did have an 8-pitch hold on Friday. So I wouldn't be shocked to see him done, but I think he'll come back out for 1 more inning. And then you'll just go to Helsley in the 9th. So let me go ahead and just get back over here. I think Maton's still going to be in the game. Let's leave him up. First pitch from Maton to Bush. He is right down the middle for a strike. So it is going to be Maton this inning. Facing the lefty and then a couple of righties. By the time you get to Happ at the top of the order, hopefully it's the 9th. The 0-1 to Bush. Check swing above the zone. No, he did not. It's 1-1. Bush is 0 for 3 in the game today. He is also yet to strike out, so a ground out and 2 flyouts. Puts the ball in play consistently in this one. The 1-1 pitch from Maton. He is in there with the sweeper at the bottom of the zone, 1-2. Bush has some words for the umpire, but that was definitely a strike. So nobody on, nobody out. The Cardinals lead 8-7. The 1-2 pitch to Bush. Swing and a miss on a curveball. Down goes Bush. That's his first strikeout of the day. And Maton's first strikeout of the day as well. And that's going to bring up Nico Hoerner. He is 2 for 3. Also has his only home run of the season in this game. First pitch from Maton is outside with the sweeper, 1-0. So 1 out, 1 run lead. The bases are empty. 1-0 pitch from Phil Maton to Nico Hoerner is fouled off, 1-1. That one was a cutter at the top of the zone. Maton can work at the top of the zone or the bottom. His stuff has good movement. Really effective pitcher. The 1-1 is inside with the curveball, 2-1. Maton doesn't have a whole lot of velocity, but his stuff moves and tricks the eye. The 2-1 from Maton to Hoerner. Ground ball through for a base hit. He is 3 for 4 today. Nico Hoerner having a day. 1 man on with 1 out. And that's going to bring up Matt Shaw. Shaw is 1 for 3 in the game today. Does have a strikeout. First pitch from Maton to Shaw is in there at the top of the zone with the sinker. It's 0-1. So 1 out, 1 man on. 0-1 count on Shaw in the top of the 8th inning. Maton trying to get it to Helsley and protect a 1-run lead over the Cubs. The 0-1. Upstairs with the cutter, 1-1. Cubs are using some of their better relievers in this game, really hoping to come back. Cardinals hoping to shut it down. The 1-1 pitch from Maton. Swing and a miss on a cutter up and in. It's 1-2. Ground ball could be 2. A strikeout would be really big for the Cardinals. Either way works. The 1-2 pitch from Maton. Instead, he's going to check on the runner, Nico Hoerner. So that's the first disengagement of this at-bat. The 1-2 pitch is up and in. The throw gets stopped by Donovan. Hoerner steals second with 1 out in the 8th, so no more double play chance. Was not a good throw from Pajes there. Donovan had to dive to keep it in the infield. And Hoerner had that base swiped. Would have been close with a perfect throw, though. Probably would have had him. So that's unfortunate. So a man on second with 1 out. The 2-2 pitch from Maton to Shaw. Instead, we have a timeout. So Shaw calls time. So Hoerner on second, 1 out. It's 8-7 Cardinals, 2-2 count on Shaw. Here's the pitch from Maton. Swing and a miss on a curveball outside. Down goes Shaw. And with 2 outs, it'll be Reese McGuire for the Cubs, their catcher. The tough part about this situation is if you get Reese McGuire here. Oh, here's another part of it. Looks like they're going to pinch hit. Yep, it's going to be Carson Kelly hitting for the Cubs. First pitch from Maton to Kelly. Swing and a miss on a curveball outside. It's 0-1. So obviously another tough part is that they have pinch hitters available. But the toughest part about this is Helsley's going to have to face the top of the Cub order if Taillon gets this out. But you got to get the out either way. The 0-1. Ground ball over to short. Wynn makes the play, and we go to the bottom of the 8th. The Cardinals lead 8-7. Great inning and a third from Taillon, continuing to lead the game. So it's going to be Arenado, Gorman, and Pages. That is righty, lefty, righty. Arenado has 10 home runs on the year. Not quite the total that you love to see from Arenado, but 711 OPS. Right around the path that he was on last season at this point. Maybe a little bit better as far as the slug and the homers go. But definitely not MVP Arenado anymore, but that is what it is. He is age 34. Then you have Gorman, Pages, and Scott. The key here is to get Arenado on base. And ideally they go with a right-handed pitcher, which would allow Gorman to potentially homer. The other thing is if they go to a lefty, you could always pinch hit a righty for Gorman in the DH spot, but I don't think they're going to go to a lefty because the only one left was Pomeranz, and he would have to stay in the game. And we don't expect that. I think they're going to go to someone like Presley here. So making the call, I'm going to go ahead and type Presley's name in once again. Let's see if we can get an answer. Pomeranz did have a 6-pitch inning, all strikes last inning. But they are going to go to Ryan Presley, so that is what I expected. There are his numbers for the year: a 4.03 ERA, 1.62 whip. Does get a lot of ground balls. You can work a long at-bat against him. He has a pretty high walk rate, very low strikeout rate. You can beat him with base hits as well. So we'll see if Arenado can find a hole in the defense here. The first pitch, ground ball over to short. Dansby is there for out number 1. So another 1-pitch, 1-out for the Cubs to start an inning. That one being Arenado, but now Presley has to face Gorman. Gorman is 2 for 3 today with a solo homer. Another one of those would be huge for the Cardinals here. They lead 8-7 in the bottom of the 8th with 1 out. Second pitch of the inning from Presley. First pitch to Gorman. He's driven out to left center. That's going to be a base hit. So another pitch put in play by Presley. The Cardinals jumping right on him. This one goes the Cardinals' way, and Gorman is 3 for 4. It was a fastball on the outside part of the zone. He reached out and put the barrel on it. Didn't try to do too much. Just lofted it out to left for a base hit. That brings up Pedro Pages. Pages definitely staying in the game because he'll have to catch Helsley in the 9th. First pitch from Presley. Instead, he checks on Gorman. You do wonder why the Cardinals are not going to pinch run for Gorman. He is the DH. It was his last at-bat of the game. Maybe they're worried about extra innings. First pitch to Pages. Check swing on a curveball low and away. No, he didn't. So it is 1-0. One on and 1 out in the 8th. The Cardinals lead by 1. The 1-0 pitch from Presley is low and in on Pages. It's 2-0. Pages did score a run earlier in the game. after a double in the right center gap. 2-0 pitch from Presley. Right down the middle, fouled off. On the slider, it's 2-1. We'll see if Pajas can work a good at-bat here, maybe draw a walk. And pass the torch in the 8th. Two-one pitch from Presley. Right down the middle, ground ball to short. Easy flip to second for 1. They will turn 2. So Pajas grounds into a double play. We go to the 9th. Helsley's going to have to close this one out with a 1-run lead. So here you go. This is what you sign up for. Top of the order against Helsley. Pretty high whip. Pretty bad season for Helsley. He's above average in the ERA and the run value, but whip is really high. The walk rate's really high. You just need to use those strikeouts. Gives up a lot of hard hit balls. That's not surprising. Ground ball rate is pretty good this year. Some of my friends like to call him Heart Attack Helsley, and I think that's a pretty good nickname. Late in the game, a lot of walks. Always has you on the edge of your seat, but also has a lot of strikeouts, so he usually closes games out. Tough challenge here. It's going to be Happ, Tucker, and Suzuki, the top of the Cubs order. The 4-hitter is Crow Armstrong in case somebody walks. Also gives up some solo homers every once in a while. But the Cardinals are going to have a pretty good spot of their order due up if you get to that stage, so hopefully he doesn't give up multiple runs at the very least. And here we go. Helsley versus Happ. This is why you buy a ticket to the game. The top of the Cubs order. Ryan Helsley on the mound. 1-run lead in the 9th. It's 8-7 Cardinals. Helsley has a 1.44 whip, 3.67 ERA in 27 innings. Has blown 5 saves out of 19 opportunities, which is not fantastic, but you look to settle back in here. Does have that flamethrower for an arm. First pitch to Happ. Low and in with the slider. He chases and swings. It's 0-1 on Happ. Swinging at the first pitch is playing right into Helsley's hands. Helsley expected it. Threw the slider. Happ does have a home run in his career against Helsley, but he is 1 for 6 against Helsley, the 0-1. Low and away with the fastball at 101 miles an hour. It is 1-1. Helsley has struck out Happ 1 time in the past, the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a slider at the bottom of the zone. It's 1-2. So Happ struggling to find that slider. I believe Happ does like those hard-thrown fastballs, so it makes sense that you go to the slider. Try to mix him up as best you can. The 1-2 from Helsley. Slider again, ground ball over to first. Contreras flips it to Helsley. That's out number 1, so 1 out in the 9th. We'll bring up Kyle Tucker. Tucker has been fantastic today. He is 2 for 3 with a walk, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. One of the best hitters in baseball going up against one of the hardest throwers in baseball in Ryan Helsley. 1 out, nobody on. First pitch from Helsley to Tucker. Low and in with the curveball that time. It's 1-0. Helsley doesn't pull out the curveball very often. Didn't get a chase right there. The 1-0 pitch to Tucker. Fastball rifled back up the middle for a base hit. So Tucker is 3 for 4 with a walk. Incredible game from him. And the Cubs have a man on with 1 out. You might think about trying to steal with him, but Helsley throws so hard, so it'd be tough to steal with Pajes behind the plate. That was just a fastball at 101 miles an hour, up and away against Tucker, and he just put the barrel on the ball. Seems like casual work for him, but it is difficult against Helsley. So 1 man on with 1 out. Here's the pitch to Suzuki. It's in the dirt, 1-0. Seiya Suzuki is 1 for 5 against Helsley in his career. No strikeouts and no home runs. Ground ball could end the game here, but Suzuki is 3 for 4 in this one. The 1-0 pitch to Seiya Suzuki. Right down the middle with the slider. It's 1-1. Suzuki wanted to see one go in. Now he did, so all bets are off here. 1 on with 1 out. Top of the 9th inning. The 1-1 pitch from Helsley. Swing and a miss on a slider low and away. It's 1-2. Would not be surprised to see Helsley rear back here against Seiya Suzuki. Try to rifle one past him for a strikeout, as he has that major league velocity. Some of that velocity you don't see in Japan too often, although sometimes you do. The 1-2 from Helsley, he steps off. So that's the first disengagement against Suzuki. He has grounded into 8 double plays on 81 opportunities this year. The 1-2 pitch. Just up and away with the slider. It's 2-2. So 1 out, 2-2 count to Seiya Suzuki with Tucker on first. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on a slider low and in. Seiya strikes out, and there are 2 down in the 9th. That's going to bring up Pete Crow Armstrong with the game on the line. Crow Armstrong made a mistake on a fly ball to center earlier in the game. Allowed Mason Wynn to score from second by lollygagging out there in center. That's been the difference in the game. We'll see if Pete Crow Armstrong can make up for it here. First pitch from Helsley. He throws his bat at a slider in the dirt for strike 1. Another embarrassing moment from Crow Armstrong. But he gets the bat back. He gets 2 more chances to hit Helsley. That's the great thing about baseball. Threw his bat at the dugout. They had to retrieve it for him. 2 outs. Kyle Tucker on first. Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate. Ryan Helsley pitching for the Cardinals with the game on the line. 8-7 lead. The 0-1 pitch to Crow Armstrong. Low and in. Rifled up the middle for a base hit. So he is going to move Tucker first to third with 2 outs in the 9th. So the go-ahead run is on first. The tying run is on third for Dansby Swanson. Was a hard-thrown fastball over the middle of the plate, but Crow Armstrong had quick hands for that one. Luckily for the Cardinals, they are in a no-double style defense. Victor Scott was able to just range over and throw it in. So that kept Tucker at third. So with runners at the corners and 2 outs, it is Helsley versus Dansby Swanson. Game on the line. First pitch from Helsley. Missed just upstairs with the slider. It's 1-0. Swanson is 1 for 4 in the game today. Is yet to strike out in this one. Cardinals playing him to pull. He is 4 for 7 in his career against Helsley. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Instead, he disengages and checks on Crow Armstrong. Swanson does have a double and a homer against Helsley. He does that, he could give his team the lead here. The 1-0 pitch from Helsley to Swanson. He is low with the slider, it's 2-0. Crow Armstrong actually just advanced to second base. So that is a stolen base. Huge advancement there. A base hit could give the Cubs the lead. Swanson hasn't been great with runners in scoring position and 2 outs this year. A 152 average in these situations. Crowd on their feet in St. Louis. One more out could do it. The 2-0 to Swanson. Driven foul. And that is strike 1, so it's 2-1. Two outs, 2-1 count on Swanson with 2 men in scoring position in the 9th. The Cardinals lead this 8-7. Helsley on his 17th pitch of the 9th inning. Here's the 2-1. Ground ball. Over to Arenado at third. Bare hand. They get him. What a play by Arenado, and the Cardinals win Game 2. He had to make a barehanded play with the runner coming up behind him. Was able to squeeze the ball, make a perfect throw to Contreras, get him by a step, and the Cardinals win. Incredible defense from Arenado. Only one third baseman makes that play, and he plays for the Cardinals. I do need to get out of here pretty soon, but an incredible game. Back and forth, home runs. Thank you for listening. This was